guys, Mike here, founder and owner of Mikesogacademy. So I've seen a lot of videos out there on YouTube on how to cure a slice, a lot of great drills out there, a lot of great information. Well, today I'm going to do a more in-depth video on how to cure your slice, okay? So I'm not only going to go into the drills and kind of the ways to go about fixing it, I actually want to go into how you should practice it, how to analyze it on video, and I'll show you guys a great app called Huddle Technique that you guys can use and utilize to fix your slice, okay? So first things first, there's a couple different ways to hit a slice, right? The first way, the most common way, is players that have a negative path with an open face, all right? So a negative path is a path where the club head at impact is traveling to the left of your ball target line or target. Now from there, your face angle, which is this right here, is open to that path. Whenever I see someone that has this typical shot, they don't understand the relationship between the wrist angles and what it causes to the club face, all right? So a lot of you guys, when you swing up to the top of the swing, you get into a little bit of this cup wrist, or you can call it extension, and that actually opens the face. As you can see, the toe of my club is pointing to the ground at the top of the swing like so, okay? So to combat that, I would like to recommend more of a flat wrist, or even going into flexion of the left wrist, or bow. That's gonna get the face or the toe pointing more in a horizontal direction, and that's gonna get us to more square or slightly closed. So now that we know how the wrist angles are supposed to work throughout the swing, now we need a drill to incorporate it. So I'm a big believer of this theory called the elimination theory. It's coined by Jim McLean. So basically, first things first, you want to take away the golf course, which is we're at the range. Second, from there, you're going to take away the ball flight, which will be just swinging with the club. Next, you can take away the club and just swing with the arms and the hands of the body. And then from there, you can take away even the arms and just swing, kind of just purely working on body mechanics. We don't need to go that far for this drill. I'm going to still incorporate the club, but I'm also going to take away the ball flight. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to take my address position, swing up to the top. I'm going to check to see that my wrist is in a flat position. For this drill, I actually want it to be slightly more bowed. So I'm going to get into that position right there. Now on the downswing, when I start coming down, I want to feel like I maintain that bow. And when I get into the impact zone, I'm going to practice having my club face slightly closed. So a great way to do this is set up to like a tee or a golf ball. Set up your club face square to that. And then while you're doing this, make sure when you come down into the impact zone again, that your club face is closed. I want you to do this 5 times very slowly. And we're really trying to maintain this bow in the downswing and figure out how we can get back to impact with this club face right here, pointing a little bit more this way, okay? That's gonna completely eliminate the slice, and you're gonna start hitting low hooks to start, and that'll get us into the next part. Now that we've done the drill 5 times, and every single time our club face is close to the ball target line, now it's time to start hitting some shots, okay? So when we first started out doing this, I want you to go at about a 10% speed. I have a 9-iron here, and I'm probably not going to hit this further than about 20 yards, okay? So it's going to look like this. Again, we're lined up square with the tee. I have a target at a distance that I'm aligned to. I'm going to take my setup, swing to the top, add on my flexion or bow, and I'm going to swing down at about 10% speed and try to hit this 20 yards, okay? It's gonna look like this. So that was perfect. I had a shot that started at target and drew maybe about a yard. So you're not gonna start seeing a lot of curvature at this point, maybe just a tiny bit. But the main point of this is I want the golf ball to be starting left of your ball target line, okay? That means that we have the club face slightly closed to our ball target line. Now from there, once you've done that 5 times at that speed, and every single shot has started left and had a little draw, or at least started left, then we can speed it up, okay? A lot of you guys like to jump straight into the full speed swings and you completely lose what we're trying to do. So you need to get 5 shots in a row that start left of the ball target line, slightly curved, or if anything, start left, all right? So let's go on to the next part. now that we got 5 shots hitting the golf ball at 10% speed, they've all started left of the ball target line with a slight curve. It's time to start adding on a little bit of speed. So I'm going to put this up around 50%, okay? So again, I'm lining up the golf ball square with that tee. I have a target in the distance. I'm going to take my setup, swing to the top and stop, add on my bow. The feeling of maintaining that on the downswing, but now I'm just going to swing a little bit faster right at 50%. So that one was good. I had a little bit of a draw to it. I hit behind it a decent amount. But again, the point of this drill is not to make perfect contact. I really just want you to focus on maintaining this on the downswing. And even if you miss-hit it like I just did, you're most likely going to start seeing a little bit of curve at this speed, okay? So again, I want you to do 5 of those shots. Don't worry so much about contact, worry about the ball flight. It needs to be starting left of the target and drawing. That is the whole goal, all right? Now from there, we can speed it up to 100% speed, or I don't like the word 100% speed because a lot of you guys are going to be going at it pretty quick. I want you, for irons, I mean, I never feel like I swing more than about 80%. So we're going to go at our quote-unquote 100% iron speed. All right, same drill. We got the golf ball square with the tee. I have a target in the distance. I'm going to stop at the top, get my flexion or bow, try to maintain it, but this time I'm going to go at my 100% iron speed and see what I got. So again, I'm going to swing to the top, stop, add on a little bit of flexion or bow, and try to swing at my 100% speed. So I'm definitely starting to see a draw pattern now. My golf, I mean, that one probably drew about 7 to 8 yards, okay? So that's a little bit of an overdraw for me personally, but I do want to see that for you guys at first. I mean, for you crazy out-to-in players, the guys that have been told that you're way over the top, that golf ball should probably be going about 30 yards left of your target at this point, okay? Which is totally fine. The next part of the drill, we're going to discuss how to get your path a little bit more out to the right. But again, we have to get your wrist angles more bowed and staying there on the downswing for you want to swing right. If you get up to the top and you get into this bowed position or flat wrist, and then you go back into extension, you're never going to want to swing to the right because your club face is going to be open and you're going to be hitting high cuts, okay? So again, this is very, very crucial. This is how I would go about practicing. 5 shots without a golf ball, 5 shots at 10% speed, 5 shots at 50% speed, and then 5 shots at 100. Now if I hit all of those shots and they all have that draw pattern that I want, now I can move on to the path drills and get into the real meat of this thing, okay?
Alright, so now that you know how to do the drill, we're going to go over the video analysis part of it. So this app is called Huddle by Technique. I highly recommend you guys go download it. So what I'm going to be looking for in this swing is when I swing to the top, shout out to Feed Golf for liking. Anyways, when I get to the top of the swing, I am bowing that wrist. So now what I want to focus in on is, am I keeping that left wrist bowed throughout the shot? Okay, so let's see if I do. You can see how I'm heavily over exaggerating that as well. If you look at the toe, which is this right here, it's pointing either horizontal or even up to the sky, which is very closed at this point. Trust me, if you get your club face in this position and you keep it there, like I'm about to do in this swing, you will hit the ball left of left, which is good, and that's when we're going to get to the path drill on the other side. I'll show you how that's supposed to look. But anyways, my wrist is definitely bowed at this point. As you can see, as I start the swing down, I'm maintaining that bow. As I get into the hitting area, I'm definitely still bowed at this point. The club face is shut to the ground. And as I keep going, I have maintained that bowed, had a bit of shaft lean, and I know that ball went low and left. That one hooked pretty good. So that's what I want you to look for in the swing. It should look like this. Your wrist should constantly stay bowed. And that will get us hitting the ball to the left and hitting a bit of a draw. And then the path drill from there is going to fix it, okay? So, on to the path drill. Good.
Alright guys, now that you understand the wrist angles relative to your club face and how to work them on the downswing, you probably noticed that you're starting to hit a lot of pull draws. So you're happy probably not to be hitting slices, but at the same time you're hitting 30-yard shots to the left, so we got to figure out a way to combat that, alright? So now it's time to get into the pap drill part of the swing. So, first things first, there's a lot of good drills on YouTube for pap. You can look them up. I mean, I would recommend going to either Mark Crossfield, me and my golf are doing great things. Peter Finch, GG Swing Tips is awesome at this. I mean, really, you can't go wrong with the pap drills on YouTube. I didn't see too many bad ones, but I'm just going to show you some basic examples of what to do, and then hopefully, if you maintain the flexion of the left wrist or the bow, you're going to start seeing shots that start to the right and drawing back, okay? So this is how it's going to look. So the first one I like, I got it from GG Swing Tips, is how to get the club, quote unquote, dumped under. Alright guys, now that I got it set up, so first things first, you're going to need 2 broken shafts or alignment sticks or something to stick in the ground. I also have 2 noodles to help me out. So this drill, we call it a bit of a clock drill. It's going to work like this. So you're from the down the line view, but if you were from the face-on view, if I stuck my club out like this would be 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, again 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right? So for this drill, I'm going to take my setup. I'm going to swing to around 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. What you'll notice is that my right forearm is above the left, and I've also done something called supinating with the left forearm, or basically the left forearm working in a fashion like this, okay? So I want to start here at 9 o'clock. I'm going to swing back to right around 4. Again, this is not a full swing, this is probably about a 3/4 swing, and then I want to feel like I'm going to get back to that 9 o'clock position with the right forearm above the left, and a bit of supination add on with that. And if you feel like you do all that with the flexion, you're going to start hitting the shots and start off to the right and have a little bit of draw. So it's going to look like this. I'm going to start at 9 o'clock, back to 4, and back to 9. So as you guys can probably see, I did not hit any of these noodles. That golf ball started pretty far right of my ball target line, but drew back almost on point. So this is definitely going to get you shallowed out or swinging more from the inside path. And in the meantime, I would love to see you guys do this with the tee, okay? So I would like to see you do this swing, probably start out, again, I don't think you need to start out with 10% with this swing. I'd probably just start out with 50%. And then from there, take 5 shots, making sure that you don't hit both the noodles. And if you do that, you start seeing shots that are starting right of your ball target line and drawing back, then speed it up to about 75% and maybe to your 100% iron swing, okay? So do that. That's a great, easy little pap drill. Again, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 o'clock, 11, 10, 9, 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Don't hit the noodles.
Alright, so now we're on to the pap drill with the video analysis. So, I like to draw a line from the heel of the club all the way up to the sky, so it's going to look like this. That's called the original shaft line. So with this drill, as I take the club back and I start swinging down, the goal of this drill is to get pretty far underneath that line, because most of you guys are going to be pretty far above that line and swinging pretty far to the left. So the goal of this drill is to get underneath it like such. So when your hands are level at the hips or slightly below it, I want you to check out where your club head is. If it's below that line, that's perfect for this drill. And then as we swing through, if you miss those noodles, you'll notice the club head is now pretty severely above that line. Now in real life, if you swung like this, you would hit pretty massive draws if your club face was closed, or big blocks. So I don't want you here realistically, but for the point of the drill is to get you shallowed out or swinging more from the inside and to counteract what you're doing. Now from there, when you start swinging, ideally at this position when the hands are level at the hips or slightly below, like so, I'd like to see this club head that is underneath the line, like that. I would like to see it more so on the line or just barely below it, okay? So I'm gonna draw a couple blue lines to show kind of the area, the acceptable area to be between those lines, okay? So that would be okay compared to that first line. And anything above the line for the purpose of hitting a draw is not where you want to be, okay? So anywhere between these two lines right here, we're doing good. So those are our checkpoints for the path drill. And as you can see, the ball starts to the right and starts drawing back.
Alright guys, so that's my step-by-step on how to cure your slice. So in the meantime, if you guys are starting to see too much curvature to the left, but your golf ball is starting to the right, just dial it back to the amount of flexion or bow you have in the left wrist. So i.e., if you're doing it this amount, maybe you feel like it's a little bit more like that. From there, kind of just experiment and see how much bow it takes to draw the ball, how much bow or how much of a flat wrist it takes to start hitting little baby fades or even straight shots. Have fun with it. And again, just do the steps step by step, and I guarantee you will hit a draw. All right, guys, thank you.